Judy, welcome to Toronto. Welcome
Thank
back
you.
to Toronto.
Yes.
I've been here a million times.
Twice.
Well, no,
Maybe two more other times.
in my book, that's a million.
It feels like a million.
Well, we love to have you. And I want to congratulate you on this role because, honestly, as I was watching it, I couldn't picture anybody else but you in this role.
Oh, that's nice.
How did you feel when, first of all, how does a nice American girl like you get involved with this Canadian director?
It was a huge mistake, I'll be honest. No, I'm kidding, obviously. Well, they sent me the movie, and when I read the script, I loved it. I don't really think about, I wasn't like, oh, they're Canadian, but I just was excited to do the film, to play the role. Yeah. And then it shot in Vancouver, which again for me is not a big deal. Everything shoots in Vancouver now. So
it worked out. What was it about Claire that really caught your eye? She's a really unique mother.
Well, I liked how it was more the relationship that I really liked. I thought she was strong and she was confident and she was taking on a lot by homeschooling her son and being a single mom and living with her mom. But I loved how she never felt sorry for herself. She was a real go-getter. This wasn't I worked my butt off for this family. There wasn't any of that I remember.
No, there wasn't.
Yeah,
there wasn't.
I was like,
I did admire that in her, actually.
There wasn't any of those, and in the writing too, Kyle and Josh, didn't write, they didn't victimize her at all, and so, she really made her own choices and stuck by them, so I appreciated that in a female character, and then really the relationship between her and her son, which, the whole movie, it lives or dies on that, and I loved how they loved each other, and not, I felt, in a cheesy, creepy way, but in a way that I have a stepson who's 17, and I I love having a close relationship with him.
Yeah, it is a really, I like that you said it was kind of a creepy and a little, because at first I thought, no, there definitely I knew there was not going to be anything.
No, but sometimes when we were shooting, we would be like, did we cross a line? Is there any moment, and I'll be honest, I haven't seen the finished product yet. I'll see it tonight for the first time, so I'm really excited about that, obviously, but I wasn't, we did, some days I'd be like, should we not shoot that scene, or should he not come in the bathroom when I'm in there, or, it'll be interesting. But growing up, I'm an only child, and there was a lot, my house was, really, kind of free and open, and there was no shame in anything, so that's kind of what I equated it to.
Yeah, well, how did it make you feel about homeschooling at the end of doing this?
I still think it's a little weird, I'll be honest, but, but, the state of, so I live in California, the state of the public school system in Los Angeles right now, I feel really strongly that in the United States, everywhere in the world, but I can only really speak for my own country, that we should provide a top quality and free education for all of the kids. So while my kids go to public school, but all of my friends send their kids, with the exception of one, send their kids to private school, and not everyone can afford to do that, and that's really upsetting. And so then I don't blame people who are like, you know what, my kid's not going to get the education I want them to have in the public school system. I can't afford to send them to private school for between $20,000 and $60,000 a year. I mean, we're talking for kindergarten. Yeah. And what's left? Public or homeschool. And and I know my in-laws actually, they do a homeschool school kind of. Yeah. So it's a collective, and my brother and sister-in-law, they took 2 subjects, another family took 2 subjects, and another family took 2 subjects. So they do their homeschooling, but they're in a small group, and then they do walk when they graduate with the local school. Very cool. And then at graduation, I don't know how they work that out, but that seemed like a really nice compromise.
Right, yeah, and I think it's important for socialization of the kid. I mean, that's what we see with,
clearly.
With Daniel, clearly, right?
Yeah.
They have to get out there and meet other kids their age and learn about life.
I do think that when you think of homeschooled kids are weird, I don't think they're weird. I just think you stated perfectly, they aren't around other kids the way that, you are when you're in that kind of system, there's so much less hiding, there's so much less experimentation that can be done. I mean, when I think of like just the different outfits I could wear to school just to see like, am I a rock and roll person or am I preppy or even that kind of, well, I love clothes.
Yeah. Oh.
Can we do a whole interview about dressing?
We can totally do that. We'll do that for part 2 right after.
Clearly, I love clothes.
But yeah, tell me about working with Daniel because you did have such a special bond and to me it felt very real.
It did. Yeah. It was so strange because I don't even remember when I met him. Meet him before we started shooting, I must have. Yeah, I was nervous because, like I said, I think that the quality of the film is dependent on our relationship. Yeah. So I didn't really know what to expect, and I thought, like, if this kid is annoying, then, like, we're screwed. Like, I'm going to have to actually act really hard. So we fell immediately in love with each other, and it was so easy, and he was so great. And I thought that he did such an amazing job. Like, acting with him was great and inspiring for me. And then I thought our bond really worked. I mean,
it did. It really did.
I'm glad because that's the most important. I think in any film, regardless of what the relationship is on the page, you have to have chemistry with someone, even if it's someone that you hate in the movie that you're shooting. Absolutely. Like, you have to have this kind of chemistry. And so, it was kind of a no-brainer. I couldn't believe how quickly we just turned into liking each other so much.
Yeah, no, it's such a... Did you meet his mom? Like,
no.
Oh, interesting.
No, I never did.
Oh, okay.
Although I asked a million questions about her.
Yeah.
And I know she has a cool dog, and I was hoping one day she would come to set, but then I guess either he didn't invite her or she didn't. But no, we never spoke.
Okay, I find that really interesting. Well, you guys had an amazing bond. Judy, you're such a busy gal. I can't even keep track of how many things you have going on.
Either.
Like, my goodness, congratulations to you. I know when I saw the Planet of the Apes, I honestly, until the end of the movie, didn't even know it was you, and I was like, holy mackerel, that was Judy. Like, oh my God, to do that motion capture stuff must have, I mean, it was an amazing movie.
Yeah, it is a real tour de force. I want to start like a hashtag Oscar for Circus campaign.
Hello.
He's
way overdue.
I know.
Yeah. Well, you were really getting it too. That's just such a cool thing to be a part of. And now, like, we're going to see you like in the Marvel universe, obviously. I mean, what's that like?
Oh, that's just hanging out with friends. I'll be honest. I mean, the first time around, I was so geeked to be a part of the Marvel family, which is what they say to you. They're like, "You're in the Marvel family now," and I'm like, "Ooh, what are our secrets?" Because I want to know. But they don't tell you that. In fact, there's signs everywhere that say like we don't. There's a lot. It's really scary, actually, at work when you're shooting a Marvel movie because your name is on every single piece of paper that they give to you, and then you have to give it back at the end of the day. And I'm like really flaky with like my script and my sides and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, it's really scary. But it was really fun. I don't do any ass kicking in that movie, so when I'm like I said, it's like hanging out with Bobby Cannavale and Paul Rudd and Peyton Reed, the director. Like, it is like partying with friends. It's like if you're sitting at your friend's apartment and for 10 hours while you're deciding like what you want to do that night. That's what it's like. It's so fun.
Yeah, I'm sure. I have to know. I got to let you go, but I have so much to ask you. But I do want to know because you've done stage, you do TV, you do film, What do you like? What gives you the most satisfaction? Because I would think being on a live stage would be pretty darn cool.
That really scratches the art itch, and the nice thing about that is I tend to, and I think a lot of actors are very hard on themselves, and so the nice thing about being on stage is that when you mess something up, on the walk home from the theater, you're like, oh, I'm going to try it like this tomorrow night. When you're driving home from work on a movie or TV show, you're like, oh, that's what that scene is about, and I'll never get to do it again, now that I've just figured it out. So that's like really nice. To be able to go back and fix all the things that you're like, I know I could do that better, I know I could. I mostly though, most of anything is just want to work with cool people at this stage in my career. I just want to have fun when I go to work, and I want to work with like good, nice people who care about what they're doing.
Well, I'm sure they love working with you because you're just a delight.
So nice.
Like, you really are.
So.
Such a big fan. Like, so much stuff. Like, and now you've got a movie also with Richard Linklater. I mean, how cool.
I know. That is crazy. And Kate Blanchett is in that, and Billy Crudup, and I acted with them it's just really an incredible movie, and that was an incredible experience.
Yeah.
I had to remind myself I was actually in the scene, not watching the scene, when I'm like watching Kate Blanchett and Billy Crudup, and I'm like, you're acting right now, Greer, pull it together, like, say your lines, don't just watch your idols act.
Well, you know what, you are just incredible. I'm so happy that
Thanks.
you chose to be in public school. You did such a fabulous job.
I'm
I mean,
excited.
seriously. More leading roles for Judy Greer people. More leading roles. You're so good.
Thank
Always
you.
a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.